Okay, so I'm live. It's starting. I'll give it a refresher. And I am live. So hi everyone and welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. Today I'm going to color page 74 from my comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. Here we go. We're naming some of these layers so it's easier for me to find out which is which. And I'm also gonna get an older page just so that I have the colors on hand. See for a page with Newton as well. There we go, so I can get all the colors. And it is a hot and humid and sticky day today here in Michigan, USA. I wish I had air conditioning for sure. It's quite unfortunate that they do not let us have air conditioning where we are. Let's see, this old teapot I think was last seen in chapter 2. Let's see here. Yep, okay, so it was white, more or less. I'm gonna delete this part. So today is the 4th of July, so here in USA it's Independence Day. So everybody just went away. It's kind of a ghost town, so it's really nice. I've always liked the kind of a ghost town feel. I wonder if Newton's plates were white like this. I think they did have a lot of white china back then. And considering that he's kind of like middle class, I suspect that he would have that. Not sure exactly. Kind of the joke in films is that bachelors eat out of paper plates and don't actually have dishware, so I'm not sure exactly about what kind of person Isaac Newton was. So I just gave him normal dishware. Maybe someone gave it to him. Because Haley did finance the finishing and printing of the Principia Mathematica, so maybe he gave him dishes as well. I did see a little documentary that was kind of a reenactment of their discussion and his visit at Newton's house, and was supposedly very messy and he was trying to find the document Haley was asking for, and he couldn't find it, so yeah. And it is very quiet. You have some cicadas though. When you lived alone, did you have normal dishes in your house? Yeah. I had them too. I had them from my mother, but I was tempted to eat out of paper plates just so I wouldn't have dishes to do. Color. Okay, let's check the stream again. Seems to be working well. I have some people watching. Hi there, everyone. Now, I don't know if they had like instant food in the 17th century. I'm kind of curious about that. If they had any stuff like, I mean, they didn't have shawarma shops, that's for sure. Yes, yeah, cheese on bread and like pork, salted pork, dried fish. That was the fast food of the time. No microwave needed. Hi June, how are you? I was debating with my husband Newton's lifestyle of a bachelor with the plates and everything. Hope it's historically accurate for the most part. He's living the bachelor life. Oops. Uh, what happened? I clicked on something. Okay. What does that button do? Clear. Okay, I don't want to clear. It's very, very warm today, and the humidity is pretty high, and we don't have any air conditioning because we're not allowed to have any, but hopefully where we're going to move, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to move where we want it because they have air conditioning there already installed, so it should be easier to live there. And unfortunately, it's the Independence Day holiday now. So everybody's just ran away and they're not answering their emails and they're getting like one of those prolonged communist vacations. Like for example in Romania, you have like one Christian holiday and then you get like half the week off because everybody's um, they don't want to stay and work. And if you need something done, there's nobody there. So now we're kind of waiting to see if we get approval to give them money. Like we had to pay here in the US, you have this ridiculous system. You have to pay them to process your application. So you have them give them money so that you can give them more money later on, which is very weird. And since they're a big company and everything's owned by big companies, you don't really have much of a choice. Everybody does this, and it's kind of weird. Yeah, like take money and more money and then do a lot of paperwork. So they took our file to send it to their headquarters in Detroit to check our criminal background. And since we're foreigners, they like have to do even a more extensive background check. So it's gonna take even more time. And meanwhile, where we're living now is it's going to expire. So we need to get out of here and hopefully not live on the street until they decide if they would be so gracious as to have us pay them money. I mean, I think it's weird enough the security down payment. Like, I don't know if this is in Italy or not, but it was definitely in Bucharest. Um, the person that was renting out the area, you had to pay them a month in advance, and they would supposedly give you your money back if you didn't break anything inside the house, or if you didn't leave early without paying. So it was kind of like a insurance. If you were a good tenant, we'll give you your money back. And of course, a lot of proprietors would be really douchey and try and abuse this and find excuses not to give people's money back, and they would especially prey on young people once a month in advance or more, depends, yeah. And they would really try and prey on young people that didn't know this, and if they didn't have parents to tell them, hey, that's a phony accusation, like always take pictures before you move in, show them any issues that there might be, so that you don't have a discussion uh, when you move out that, oh wait, the owner might try and put the blame on you that there's a handle missing on the window or something like that. Yeah, but for big companies now, they do like these weird background checks on you. Um, and they ask you for the money to do the background checks. And since, like I said, there are only a couple of options here, pretty much everything is owned by a handful of companies. You really don't have anywhere else to go. It's kind of the standard. We're gonna check if you're worthy to give us money, and you're gonna pay us for that privilege. But I guess that's how the mentality is. There are a lot of YouTube channels that talk about, renovating and renting houses, and uh, the people that rent these, like in all of the YouTube videos, they're always so mean and unpleasant. Like, I haven't seen any nice landlord have a YouTube channel talk about, renting places and handling customers and things like that. Like, there's always this slimy person that does this, and they have a channel on YouTube just to complain. And I think it's really strange that that is the situation. Like, why isn't there a nice person having a channel? Maybe they do, and because there's no drama, nobody watches their YouTube channel about how to be a nice landlord. I don't know, maybe just people look for unpleasant situations, and it's pretty unfortunate, I think, not to have a nice civil relationship with your client. Fortunately, I don't have any land to rent. I don't have this problem. Though I think it would be nice, to have like a channel to kind of tell people, hey, how to find a good landlord, or what the legislation is. I mean, the closest I've found to that is like channels that tell you about how to improve your house without pissing off the landlord, because you're not allowed to repaint or redecorate or install anything. So usually I find channels like that, how to make your crappy little apartment look decent without upsetting the landlord. I haven't tried any of those tips and tricks yet. Like, I just don't wanna risk, because they're so crazy here. Like, they will sue you and try to take your money over any weird thing. One friend of ours, he's Greek, and he lived with rent somewhere, and they kicked him out, or he moved out because it was too expensive or something like that. They raised the price that was initially discussed, so he couldn't afford to live there anymore. Um, and he forgot his shower curtain, and they fined him. They gave him a fine of $25 because they had to remove the shower curtain, or they would have to remove the shower curtain, and he got a $20 fine for that, and so he went and took down the shower curtain. So he didn't have to pay it anymore. And you just have these really weird situations that kind of seem out of I don't know, of a Hollywood movie. Anyway, at least I got my tooth done, so I can now eat with the right side of my face. So yay, victory. The insurance renews every 6 months. So I was, last time I did anything for my teeth was in December. Yeah. And now I went to get the crown, which was over $1,000, and the insurance covered like half of the expense. So at least I got that fixed. Some nice news. I don't know if you ever had a crown on your tooth, but it's really weird and freaky. because they kind of take off the external layer of the tooth, and you're left with kind of the middle. And I had like a lot of what do you call it, filling inside, so it's probably kind of, my tooth that's left is probably kind of like ice cream cone, and it's the filling is the ice cream inside, and then they have a crown is kind of like the chocolate cover of it. So hopefully that will last me a couple of more years. I think it's really weird to have such bad teeth problem at the tender age of 28, but the dentist was telling me, oh, it happens more often than you think. And I thought, how, what? No, I can't believe this happens often. This is not normal. I'm only 28 and I'm like, I feel like I lost a tooth because it's barely anything there. And I have a temporary crown, and they've sent my measurements to the lab, and I will get a permanent crown in 2 weeks. But at least they gave me a lot of anesthesia, so it wasn't a painful process. The sound was very weird though. Like, I've never heard such a sound in my head. No matter what the procedures have been for my teeth. So I can't wait to have more pleasant experiences. We did get to visit Laddington again. So it's a lake. Um, it's actually, sorry, it's a town, like a tourist destination in the upper Michigan Peninsula, and it's a pretty nice town. It has a lot of those American houses made out of wood with the porch and little towers. Some friends of ours went there and they offered to take us as well. Because our car wasn't working too well, so we weren't willing to risk taking a trip and getting stuck on the way, because you don't have any buses or trains or anything like that. For example, in Romania, I don't know if Sardinia has that, because I mean, it looks pretty small on the map, but I think you did tell me you have buses that take you to the beach if you live inside the island. But in Romania as well, you have what do you call them? Trains that can take you from anywhere in the country to anywhere else, pretty much. And if you need to go further, you can like take a bus. But for here, I haven't seen any advertising or services that you can take a bus to Laddington. And it's definitely not gonna be fast, but that's been the problem in Romania as well. I think aside from Japan and Germany, I don't know. Oh, and France, I don't know who else has a fast public transportation system. I think it's just them. Like for example, we have a in the western part of Romania, we have an area called Ardeal, and we often make fun of the people that live in that part of the country, that they talk slowly. And we have one fast train in Italy, but not super fast, I think. Yeah. I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, the trains in Italy are so fast." So, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, I'll see you later if you're still here. Okay, take care. Yes, like I was saying, there's an area and they make fun of the people that there, that they speak slowly, and to make fun of the trains, they say that the train has arrived. Or no, an Ardelan person has finished their sentence before the train arrived. As to poke fun of the trains for being slow. It in color. So hot and sticky. Oops. My foot is going numb. Uh, Maybe my blood pressure is low. I just feel like a jellyfish. Hopefully I can finish this stream, but I'll probably do like a shorter version. Everybody's out anyway. But I hadn't had a chance to stream last week, so I was kind of feeling guilty if anybody wanted to drop in that I wasn't there. I am, however, going to have to move this month, so probably there will be other streams that I will not do. And I just didn't have time to do much else. I barely had time to do some Stardew Valley videos. Those were requested. And since I don't have to do much for those, I don't even edit them. I just film 15 minutes, give some short explanation, and then I'm out. But yeah, this month's been pretty hectic. I look forward to returning to a normal schedule. I generally don't like to change my routine. I was just born old that way. Okay. Gonna do another folder, call them characters. And just put everything in there so I can turn them on and off more easily. I love that I can change the keyboard shortcuts and it's easier for me to move around and color stuff. I'm gonna have to open, I think, the character sheet. Get my tablet out. Okay, and oh, it has a tongue and a belt buckle. Gotta remember to tell June, Because those were like fuzzy slippers for inside the house, so. But I don't think like his feet are gonna show up again, so maybe there's no point. Can always try and only tell her like what's important. Let's see. Nope, I don't want the walls to be pink. Okay, so he kind of has only one blue hat. Kind of not doesn't fit too well with the rest of his um, clothing, but I don't view him as a fashionable, wealthy, color-oriented person. Um, Records say that he did come to school to teach, and he was like disheveled and messy and uh, not presentable. So I kind of see him as someone that would go out dressed like whatever, not care. And if he was a girl, he would go out without makeup. I had a friend, she would not leave the house to go buy bread downstairs unless she had full on makeup and hair was done and clothing was done and everything. And I had offered to go and buy bread just so we can eat, and she was like, no, 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 I will buy it. And then I waited half an hour for her to get dressed so that she could buy bread that was like, it's not expensive back home, so. It's like not a big deal. And there's a TV show now called Agretsko, which I kind of been watching to get an idea for facial expressions in anime. Um, it's great that you can watch cartoons and call it research. Okay, let me turn off these characters so I can color the pillows. Yeah, so there was an episode where the main character, a little red panda girl, she goes to the supermarket in her pajamas and Crocs, like house shoes. and she runs into a coworker and is absolutely devastated by the fact that her coworker has seen her in her pajamas. And I just don't understand that kind of reaction. Kind of curious if this ever happens to boys. Like, I don't remember um, a boy ever having this trouble. Like, maybe they did not confess it to me, but I just don't remember ever hearing a boy have that problem. But since things are changing, maybe we'll see more of that. Did he have pockets on the outside? I can't remember. Yep, he did have them. I almost forgot about those. Because you don't see them in anywhere else, so I was like a bit confused. You can't actually paint every little detail all the time. You'd never finish the comic. And I'm at page... sorry, panel 7, so I got one more. And it's 4 o'clock. Maybe I'll do some backgrounds. I'm already melting. I mostly sat in another room where I have a ventilator. I think it's called in English as well. To kind of cool off. But I must say I'm glad I'm not in Japan right now, because in the south anyway, the summers are just so hot that it is insufferable. And if you've seen in animes, like, they're very good at expressing soul-crushing heat. You've seen some of the animes. Okay, so I'm gonna go get an older page from beginning of this chapter, actually. There it is. Oh, hey, Kezar, how are you? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, happy 4th. But neither one of us is really celebrating, because neither one of us is American. But I was kind of thinking about what they're celebrating, because we celebrate a union, and they're celebrating independence. So I thought that was interesting. I'm trying to remember what else other countries were celebrating. Like, I'm trying to remember what France is celebrating on Bastille Day, I think it's called. It's 14th of July, if I remember correctly. And I, like, do not remember what they were celebrating. Since it's Bastille Day, it probably has to do something with Bastille, the prison, and I don't know, they broke out of it. Something happened then. I mean, I don't feel too guilty about not knowing because it's not like the French know about Romania anything. So I don't feel too guilt trippy about that. I think they told us in school what is celebrated then, but I do not remember. Well, Russia has Victory Day, right? When they won World War II. That's their national day? They have Victory Day. Yeah, we don't have Victory Day for that. And I wonder if Americans have that. Oh, they have D-Day. I think they have D-Day, so they celebrate something on D-Day. I'm not sure exactly what they say. I mean, I know it's their victory, but I'm not clear exactly on the narrative that they have. Are they commemorating the dead or celebrating the victory? I'm not sure. They also have Veterans Day, I think, here in the US. They had something with Vietnam they're celebrating. I think that might be Veterans Day. Because whenever it's Veterans Day, I have a Vietnam memorial here where I am. Apparently, a lot of people from Michigan went to fight in the Vietnam War. And I think one person in this village anyway, when he returned from Vietnam, he adopted a Vietnamese child that was orphaned, and he brought her to the US, or she was brought here, I'm not sure, but uh, he adopted her. And like the list is pretty long. I've seen in the park. And I think I don't know if it's for the whole of Michigan or just this village that I'm in, because I don't think the population was that big back then. I should Google and see what Germany celebrates on their Victory Day, or their national holiday, sorry. Let's see, do I have a picture of the tree in the front? Because I don't remember what color it had. So it seems like it was dark. But anyway, how have you been? How's it going? I just got a tooth fixed, so I'm happy. Feel like an old person though. Let's see, where's that tree? I don't have a picture of it. Okay, I will take the color from another tree and hope it fits. Oh, I found it. So Russia National Day is Russia Day on June 12th, celebrating independence from the Soviet Union. Okay. Um, aren't they the Soviet Union? Like they're celebrating independence from themselves. Um, okay. I mean, I'm sure that maybe Britain will change its like national day to have independence from the European Union or something like that. And they're one of the founders of the European Union. So, um, I totally see that as a feasible future narrative when they do finalize the Brexit, that they change the UK's national day instead of the Queen's birthday, which is not actually her real birthday, but it's just birthday that all the kings and queens have had in summer, so that they have good weather to celebrate it. And maybe they change it to the Brexit date when they gained independence from the European Union, which they founded. Like they were one of the 12 stars on the flag. That's why everybody was making fun that there'll not be 12 anymore. Let's see. The entrance to that. I had the page opened. Sorry. Where was it? For Germany, it's October 3rd, German Unity Day, from when East and West reunited. Yeah, that I think is nice, to celebrate unification or independence. But the Russian independence from the Soviet Union is funny, I admit. I did not see that coming. I was thinking maybe it was something to do with Stalin or something, his birthday or something like that. Because I think the national holiday of China is still something with Mao or something like that. Other time you are making something for Stardew Valley. Have you finished or will you stream that someday soon? Sorry, just came here. Sun is up. Oh, hi, Sun is up. Never represented a number of members. 12 was chosen arbitrarily to avoid controversy. Really? Okay, so I remember that incorrectly. Thank you for telling me. Um, I will finish that if people want to see it, so I'm glad that you would like to see that Sun is up. I'll keep in mind that you do want to see that and kind of just post on my Facebook and see what people want, or in the group. And also welcome to my channel. Yeah, I don't know where I got the idea that it was the founding states, those 12 stars. Like, I could have sworn that it was the founding countries. I was super sure about that. I think the initial founders were six, and then when they decided to do the euro and the flag, they were like 12, so that was in my head. So I'm gonna have to go read that up again, because I would definitely want to know for sure. Where was my page? Closed it. Let's see. Because I had them running up to the building. There it is. Okay, so I have like a pavement there, so gonna need to change that. How am I gonna do that? First of all, let me see if I can go look up at the front, because I don't remember how it's supposed to look. Google Maps. And I love Google Maps. I don't think I could have done this comic without it. Cambridge, Trinity College, UK. Let's see. Where was it? Okay, Trinity Court, Newton's Apple. I think. Let's see. Okay, so it's paved and it goes like that. Okay, so I will cut it in half and then do a little track there. So I don't know, Caesar, if you've been to that stream that Sun Is Up was talking about. I did part of the bathhouse from the Ghibli film Spirited Away, and I did about a third of it. On what layer did I do this? I did it on the wrong layer, obviously. I hate it when I do it on the wrong layer. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, and I'm gonna look again at the front door, so it would be before the other pillar thingy. They actually should be further apart. This one I gotta move. Architecture is not my strong point. But I'm glad that Clip Studio Paint, you know, is so forgiving with all the edits. It's such a nice program. And the fact that I can crop on multiple layers at the same time and just move stuff around, it's amazing. You cannot do this. I don't think I've ever seen any other program where you can select and move stuff around on multiple layers at the same time. So I was selecting the line art and the color layer. Actually, it should be a bit darker because I kind of have more depth than that. Whew, so hot. I don't miss winter yet, so it hasn't gotten to that point yet, but we're getting there. The winters here are just so long that I miss summer, which is not something that I usually missed back home because the summers are just insufferable in the capital. You cannot sleep at night, it's so warm. If you don't have air conditioning, it's really, really sad. Do you use a mouse or a tablet for this? I have a tablet, a Wacom Intuos Pro medium size. I had a bigger one, but it was a lot hard to move around if I needed to go anywhere. So I prefer a medium size because it fits in a suitcase, like business suitcase. I'm not sure exactly how it's called in English. Servietto. And I've also worked in places that had Cintiq tablets, and I do not find them worth the money. I mean, it's easier maybe for some people that have never painted digitally to make the transition from digital to, sorry, from traditional to digital. But I really don't think it's worth the money, and I would just rather spend the time to exercise my hand and my eye and to have that coordination. I find it much easier to paint and draw when I don't have my hand over the image because I've gotten used to drawing digitally like this with the tablet. So I've gotten to the point that I prefer to draw digital for a number of reasons, one of which being having the undo button, the mighty undo button, moving stuff around that I didn't correctly assess the distance. I can just move them around in digital. And also the possibility not to have my hand over the image, so I can see a lot better what I'm doing. For this part, the coloring part, since I'm using the bucket tool, I don't really need the tablet that much. But if I need to do the line art, then yes, I definitely need the tablet for that. And of course I've tried the bamboo tablet, which was just horrible. I cannot draw using that, it's just so bad. I've gotten used to one with better pressure sensitivity, so the bamboo is just terrible compared. And I started off at 18 with a Intuos, and the Intuos was like kind of like for the pricing it was the middle class. And the Intuos was renamed because they had 3, 4, 5, and then they changed it to Pro. So now I have Pro instead of 6. And I think I started with Intuos 4 or something like that, and then I skipped over the 5 in the course of 10 years and went to Pro now. Because mostly I had tablets at work, so I didn't really need one at home aside from, personal projects. And at home, depending on where I worked, I either had better tablet or worse tablet, depending on the budget of the company. I'm gonna open, let's see if I have a picture of the door in chapter 2. And I think I had it when Niels was going to get water. And I think that was before he passed out. Thank you. Yes, so this is a collaboration. The line art is done by my friend June Fender. You can see her banner should be around this area where I'm circling now. So here actually. Come on, where was that page? I can't remember. They went out to get water. Found it. Oh, so I put lines on the door, and June forgot about him again. So I'm gonna have to remember to draw the lines. Okay. So I always have to, go back and check to see that I'm doing the door the same, in all the pages. I mean, probably people will not remember if they're um, reading page by page like I'm posting it, because it's been like months. But if someone ever just recently picks up the comic, and 2 hours later they end up from chapter 2 to chapter 3, they're gonna be like, wait, the door has changed, what's going on? So I'm gonna try and do it. And my hand is just so sticky and wet, I cannot draw a straight line. So I'm gonna... Usually some artists will buy a glove for their tablet, but I don't usually need a glove. Let's see if I can draw the line without touching the tablet. Oh, it's so warm. Like everything sticks. Fortunately, I have the possibility to adjust my lines like so. Like I said, Clip Studio Paint is just so forgiving when you want to do line art. You can be drunk and still do good art. The two-finger one, yeah. I tried to use a napkin, a paper one, but it doesn't work. And I've gotten used to, like, one of the differences, yes, one of the differences in drawing traditional and digital is what I've noticed from videos and other things like that, um, is that they will touch the paper less when drawing traditionally, because you would paint with watercolor or something like that, and you can't really put your hand on the paper, so they learn to paint without touching the canvas, which is not something that you have this restriction in digital. Like in digital, you can put your hand on the tablet and paint much more comfortably. You don't have to be, very artsy and keep your hand up like that. But with traditional, you have to. So let's see what. No, I didn't want to simplify. Correct. Line width, thicken. Okay, thicken. Yes, because you kind of look kind of weird, not being the same thickness. And I just make it thicker, because it's so easy to correct yourself in Clip Studio Paint. Like, you don't need to think too much in advance anymore. You can just adjust anything, which can be very relaxing. Of course, you do have your snobs saying, like people that encourage you to use a typewriter to write on wet paper, and I was making a fashion illustration for school. Yeah, and like you don't have an undo. You messed up the page, you have to redo everything. So yeah, like I was saying, you have literature snobs that say that you should use a typewriter to write, because then you'll think more about what you're writing. It isn't my first language. Don't worry, it's not mine either. What is your first language? Let's see, do I have a door? The door thing above? Can't remember. I usually went just over. Slovenian. Oh, I've been to Slovenia. I really like it. Capital is Ljubljana, right? I'm not confusing it with Slovakia, because I've been to that as well. And it's the way they're said in English, Slovenian, Slovakia, and even in Romanian, I would say Slovenia, Slovakia, like sound the same in my head, and I always get them confused, and I'm sorry for that. Yep, Ljubljana. Okay, I remember correctly. I'm glad about that. I was there, I think, 2 days or something like that, and I went to take pictures, and I really liked it. I think I posted some of the pictures on Tapastic. Let's see. Let me see. Yep, so this was in the old center somewhere. But I'm looking like for some buildings that I saw and I really liked them. Yep, these ones. I forgot the name of this building. Like, if you know it, let me know so I can write below, because some people have asked me. And I only remembered, oh, it's in Ljubljana, and at the time I like didn't bother to write this stuff down. You even pronounced it correctly. While Romanian is a Latin language, I don't know, is Slovenian a Latin language, or is it some other kind of a family tree of languages? Where because I was looking for the door. Let's see. Okay, I made it metallic. I couldn't remember. So yeah, for if it's also a Romance language, a Latin language, then it will always be easier for me to pronounce it. I think it's the church in the middle of Ljubljana, but I don't know which one. Okay. I thought maybe it was like a historical monument thing. Because for example, in Czechia, the Czech Republic, they have like this big church in the middle with a big clock. Of course, I forgot the name, because why not? I have such a hard time remembering names that I'm not familiar with. And I was just thinking, maybe it's an important historical monument. Where was that page? Did I close it again? I think I did. Such a klutz. Anyway, I'll just make it a darker color. There we go. And this part of the building yellow. Let me see, because I am curious and I don't know if you heard my question. Slovenian. Oh, Andrei, is Slovenian a Latin Romance language? No? What kind of it? Slavonic? Okay.
It's in the name.
I don't know. If it maybe it was kind of a... Because like Croatian, they said was part Slavon, part Greek or something like that.
It's in the Slavonic.
It's still Slavon? I don't... I don't think I've ever heard anyone speak Croatian. Because whenever when we went there, the waiter spoke to us in English.
I wouldn't even know it for Polish or Russian.
I don't know if it's that similar. I find it weird how Polish sounds. To me, it sounds like it has a French accent. To my ears, like it sounds, not the words, like the accent a bit. They were singing. Maybe it's maybe some region that sounds more like that in The Witcher. Yes, it's Slavic. I had to look it up. Yeah, so I guess if I spoke to you in my language, we wouldn't be able to understand each other too much. My friend June Fender is from Italy, and sometimes when we can't remember a word in English, I will just tell her in Romanian and she'll recognize it because the languages are related. Has Slavic influences, so that's a connection too. Yeah, but not so much. I mean, we have some words like slobod, but no, like nobody uses that. We use libertate, not slobozie. I don't know what Slavic words do we use regularly, because there was kind of a purge in the interbellic period where Romanians were like, no, we're Latin people like the French and Italian. Now, when was it?
100 years before.
100 years before? Wow. But I've,
It wasn't really a purge.
well, well, it was more of a realignment then. And they kind of try to use more Latin words. I don't know. Because, I mean,
The influx of technical French
influx of technical French
words.
words. Okay.
Hello.
Like I don't remember the history so much. I'm trying to kind of learn more from about
This
it.
is common Chinesm.
You're getting Chinese spam?
Yes.
How?
Spam phone calls.
Chinese spam. Well, you bought stuff from Alibaba. Did you like give them your
Yes.
phone number? No?
Obviously.
I don't know then how you
They won't
getting.
ship it by SMS.
I don't know. How are you getting like Chinese spam? Maybe da. Ah, da is from Slavic, yeah. I think in we have taken over a lot of German words in the past that we still use. Oh, really? In Slovenia, German words. Was it part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire or something like that? Like, how did you get all of those words? Oh, it's so hot, I'm melting. Let's see. I have a page with the dresser behind him. Can I select to be even larger thumbnails? Yes. We had only part of the country under the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the western part, Ardel, but I don't know if we have that many German words in our language. Can you think of anyone? Any word in German and Romanian?
It's too hard.
It's too hot, can't brain. I agree.
There are many.
There are many. I can't think either. Like I'm trying to find a page and I can't even do that. Ah, maybe this one? Yep, I found it. Like any German words that we have, I think, are also technical when the French ones came. Uh, so be something like Vorspann, maybe it's German, sounds German.
There are many German words actually, and then there are even more that German took from Latin.
Yes, Germans
And
took from Latin, yeah. Hmm. Trying to remember, Slovenia had access to the sea.
so from the German words,
Mm.
the most common are Kartoff,
Kartoff?
Polizist, yes,
Okay.
Polizist, Polizei,
Mm-hmm.
Schnitzel,
A schnitzel, yeah.
Spritz,
Spritz.
Stecker,
Stecker, uh-huh.
Schmecker,
No, I thought Schmecker was from a different. Wasn't from.
Schlitz,
Schlitz.
Scheibe,
Scheibe, but all the words sound the same.
yeah,
Like, German must have been very confusing if all the words sound like Schnitzel. Schnitzel, Schlitz, Scheibe.
Aerobic,
Aerobic. When it comes to language origins, like what kind of language even is it? Celtic, Germanic. Mostly I'm at war with the grammar in English. It just seems so random. It's like they didn't even try. Like they have 30 irregular verbs in English. Why? Why? It's just so they can make life difficult for kids. I don't know. There's not a lot of sea, but it's beautiful for tourists. Yeah, I remember having a very beautiful view from my window. So yeah, I remember it fondly. And I wish we could have stayed more, but we wanted to visit other places as well, so we couldn't stay too much. Uh, I put my dirty plate behind my head, and when I try to do my hair, I just put all of my hair in the dirty plate. I'm seriously thinking of cutting my hair short, but my husband, I think, will never forgive me if I looked like a shaved dog. So sticky, everything. The lines on that one are a bit thin, so I'm gonna use the adjustment tool to... You know what? I don't think it even fits well from that position. I will take another one that I already did and put it there. Okay, let's see. Sun is up. You said that you had some fashion projects, so do you have an artist page I can check out? I always like to meet up new artists and see what they're doing, get some inspiration. Do you do any vintage stuff? Or can you recommend like vintage clothing stuff for UK 17th century? I like Bled. It's a lake that has an island in the middle. Oh, that sounds nice. Can I see it here? Bohiska, Bistrika, Veleje, Veleje. Hmm. Probably too small to see. Podova, Skjol. Yep, so it's very hot. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna finish the rest offline. The page will be published this Sunday. As always, new comic page with Niels Feynman's time traveling adventures every Sunday. And my other comics, I upload them when I have time to do everything. It's gonna be a pretty slow summer for me because I have a lot of other things to do in real life. So the only reliable, consistent comic page put out is gonna be Neil's. Making it for school, I never put it on the internet. Okay. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit short, but I'm just dying here of heat. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and see you in the next stream. Not sure if I'll be able to stream this Saturday, but as always, I will announce it on my social media like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. Thank you, Kezar. Thank you, Sun is Up. Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely week.